Hey everyone, today's video is for Tuesday, May 12th. We're going to continue working on our customary measurement and we're going to continue working on multi-step conversions. Today we're going to be spending a lot of time working on weight. So there's really two types of problems today. The first type are ones that you've been practicing the last few days where they're going to give you some different types of conversions, maybe pounds or ounces, and then you're going to have to figure out the total and break it down by how many pounds that is and how many ounces there are in all. Sometimes they may be addition, sometimes they may be subtraction. And then you're also going to have some word problems that you have to solve today. And again, some of them are multi-step, some of them are single step. So when you're looking at these, you're probably figuring out there's really two ways to do them. What I've been showing you is to take all of these and convert them to the smaller unit, ounces, and then you get the total amount of ounces. And when you're done, you can divide by 16 to figure out how many pounds and ounces that are. The other way that I'm going to kind of show you, which is a shortcut today, is that you can ignore the pounds that are already there, and then you can focus just on the ounces. And by just adding the ounces together, you'll be able to figure out how many pounds and ounces that is. So I'm going to show you both ways today, just to kind of show you. It's a little bit of a shortcut. I prefer the first way, though. It's kind of like when working with fractions, we always converted everything to an improper fraction first, did all of the math, and then figured out what the mixed number was. But anyway, so what I'm going to do first is I know in my conversion chart that 1 pound is 16 ounces. So I know if there are 3 pounds, and I apologize, this problem is letter E on the first page. So anyway, I'm going to take my 3 pounds times 16 ounces. I know that 16 times 3. Do my multiple 16, 32 would be 48 ounces. And I'm going to add that to the 9 ounces that are already there. So I know 48. I'm actually going to add 10 to get 58, and then subtract 1 to get 57. And then I'm going to add the other 9 that are already there. And again, I'm really just going to add 10 to get 67 ounces and subtract 1 to get 66 ounces. So I know there's really a total of 66 ounces. Now I'm going to take those 66 ounces, the total, and I'm going to break it down into how many pounds and how many ounces there are. So I'll set up my division over here. So my 66 is my total, or my dividend. I know there's 16 ounces, so I'll put my 16 or my divisor out here. And I'm really doing my multiples of 16. 16, 32, 48, 64. And if I do another one, I know I would be over that. So I know that 4 is going to be the best answer. That's as high as I can go without going over. I know that 4 times 16, thanks to my multiples, is 64. And when I subtract, I'm left with 2. So that's my remainder. The whole number out front is my biggest unit, pounds. So I know that is 4 pounds. My remainder is my lower unit, or ounces, and that would be 2. Now, the other way that you could do it, again, is I could just pull these ounces out, and I would do 9 plus 9 is 18 ounces. If I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces, I'll just divide this by 16. I know that only one 16 can go into 18, and I'm left with 2. So what this really means is I have an additional pound. So if I had 3 pounds, I would do 3 plus 1, and I would get 4. And then my remainder would be 2, would be how many ounces would be left over, and I actually get the same answer. And some of you guys are going to say, well, man, the blue one's a lot easier, and I agree with you, it is a lot easier, but it's not always this easy. It doesn't always work this way, especially when you get into subtraction. So that's why I think it's a little bit easier for you to take the extra time and the extra step to convert everything into your ounces, and then divide by 16 to break it up. All right, let's head over to the next problem. And again, this is going to be page number 1, and it's going to be letter F this time, so the one right beside it. So this time I have 30 pounds, 9 ounces. I have 9 pounds, 9 ounces, and we want to figure out the total. We're going to add those together. So again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm really going to take the 30 here and the 9 here, and I'm just going to add those together right away. And I know that 30 plus 9 is 39 pounds. And I'm going to multiply that times 16 because 1 pound is equivalent to 16 ounces. So I'll use my area model for this one. So we'll do 30 plus 9 10 plus 6. I know 10 times 30 is 300. I know 10 times 9 is 90. 6 times 30 is 180. And 6 times 9 is 54. If I add all of those together, I know that I would have 300. I know that 180 plus 90 is 270, so I'm just going to add those together. And then I'll bring over my 54. I'll add all those together. 4, 12. I get 624 ounces. So what I did here is I put the pounds together first. If you wanted to, you could have just done 30 times 16 and added that total to your 9, and then done 9 times 16, found that total, added it to your 9, and then added everything together. What I decided to do was take the total pounds, 39, multiply that by 16 to get 624. And now I'm going to take this 624 and I'm going to add it to the 9 ounces and the 9 ounces, or 18. So 624 plus 18, 4 plus 8 is 12, is 642. So that's my total amount of ounces. And just like the last problem now, I'm going to take my total amount of ounces, just like I did over here, and I'm going to have to divide by 16. And you might want to use a calculator to help you figure out the math, and that's okay. You're allowed to use calculators. So 642 divided by 16. So in my calculator, what I'm going to type in is 642, my total, divided by 16. And I'm going to ignore the decimal. I know that 40 is the best possible answer. It's the highest amount that I can put into it without going over. So I'll put my 40 up here. And now I'm just going to do 40 times 16, and that equals 640. And when I subtract, I'm left with 2. So that's my remainder. So again, my answer, my whole number out front would be the total amount of pounds there are, 40 pounds. My remainder would be the amount of ounces there are. All right, and my last problem I'm going to do for you today is an actual word problem. Again, it's on page 1. It's problem number 2, down towards the bottom. It says the total weight of Sarah and Amanda's backpack is 27 pounds. We know that Sarah's backpack weighs 15 pounds, 9 ounces. We're trying to figure out what Amanda's backpack would be. So I know the total is 27. I know that Sarah weighs this. So I'm going to put the total is 27. Obviously, that's a larger box. I know that Sarah is 15 pounds, 9 ounces. And we're trying to figure out what Amanda is. And really, Amanda would be this leftover part. So I have the whole, I have part, and I have trying to figure out the other part. So the easiest thing to do first is I'm going to convert all of these to ounces. So I'm going to take Sarah's, actually I'm going to take the total, 27 pounds, and I'm going to convert that to a total amount of ounces first. Then I'm going to take Sarah's 15 pounds, turn that into a total amount of ounces, and add them together. And then I can just subtract. So let's start with that. Again, using my conversions, I know 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So I'll multiply the total, 27. So I'm going to break it up. 20 plus 7. And 16 would be 10 plus 6. And again, if you have a calculator, you could use a calculator. That is fine. I know that 10 times 20 is 200. 10 times 7 is 70. Now 6 times 20 is 12, and add a 0, 120. And 6 times 7 is 42. So I can add all of those up. 200, 120 plus 70 is 190, and 42. And I'm going to get a grand total of 432. So 27 pounds is really equivalent to 432 ounces. Now the next step, what I need to do, is I need to figure out Sarah's total amount of ounces. So I'm going to erase my work here. And I only have to do her 15 pounds. So I'm going to do 15 times 16. I'll use partial products this time. I know 6 times 5 is 30. I know 6 times 10, that one is really 10, is 60. This one is really worth 10. 10 times 5 is 50. And 10 times 10 is really 100. So I can add those together. Lots of zeros, just add up to 0. 3 and 6 is 9, and 5 more would be 14. Carry my 1. So 240. I can't forget about the 9 that was already there, though. So 240 plus 9 would be 249 ounces. And now it's just a subtraction problem. So 432 minus 249. 2, that becomes a 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. I can't do 2 minus 4, so I have to borrow. 12 minus 4 is 8. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I know that her backpack, Amanda's, is 183 ounces. But I got to figure out what that is pounds and ounces. So again, 183. I know that 1 pound is equivalent to 16 ounces. And yep, I'm going to use my calculator again. You got it. So I'm going to do 183 divided by 16. I'm going to ignore the decimal, so I know the whole number that I can put in is 11. That's as close as I can go. Now I'm going to multiply 11 times 16. That equals 176. And when I subtract this, I know that I would be left with 7. So 11, remainder 7. So what that means is my whole number 11 is the amount of pounds. So 11 pounds. The remainder is the ounces, or the next unit, so it would be 7 ounces. So Amanda's weight would be 11 pounds, 7 ounces. All right, guys, I'm going to turn you guys loose to work on the rest of the problems today. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. Again, you can do your work on a scrap paper, you can use the drawing tool that's right there, or you can even use a text box if you would like. All right, good luck.